Well, hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night with Mama Bear. I'm live here from Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm on my girls trip that we go on every year, and needed this getaway, but I'm on my way back to the condo, so I'm going to finish it out. But Tammy did a great training this morning with Vicky, and I sent her a message. I said, "Can you just talk about what you did today, because it was really, really good, and something we all need. Plus, we're also going to talk about Super Saturday, which is coming up, which I'm really, really excited about it, because it's all about rebuilding. How many needs to rebuild? It's all about rebuilding. So that's something we definitely want to be live on and watch live, because we all know, well, I know there's some exceptions, but more times than not, if you don't watch it live, then you're not going to go back and watch it. But I know Teresa and Deborah are going to go back and watch it, but they've got a prior commitment. But also the challenge that I put out today, the IPA challenge, the rebuilding challenge, that's something we're going to talk about tonight too. But Tammy, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll be back in a little while.
How long do you want me to talk, girl?
I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour.
45 minutes? You were crazy.
I'm just kidding.
How long do you need to get back to the condo?
No, you just go. I mean, they love me in here, so they're used to me.
All right, well, we might have to make it interactive to make it last that long, girl.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm just kidding.
All right, so some of you that were on that are in Vicky's downline actually probably heard this, and I'm sorry, some of this is going to be a repeat. Mama Bear reached out like 3 minutes ago and said, "Can you please jump on and cover till I get back to the condo, right, Melissa?" And I said, "Sure, I'll do it." So Vicky had asked me if I would jump in her team page and just do a quick training on like where to go when you feel stuck, or like how to help your team to not, to continue to grow, that kind of thing. So, and I told her, I said, I'll just be real and raw. So that's what I did today. So I apologize if you've heard some of this. But for me, as far as my upline, I have an upline that is active, but as far as training and doing things like Melissa does, they don't offer that. And with me being a teacher, I love to learn. And I just had to go elsewhere to learn. And I wasn't shy about it. If when I go to Zing Fling or Zing Fest or XLC or wherever, if I find somebody that I connect with, I immediately try to, not Facebook friend request them, but follow them, send them a message, tell them how much I like their presentation, tell them how I connect with them. And then I just ask them, when do you train your teams, or what kind of trainings do you do for your teams? And I just say, can I join? And I've never had anybody say no. They'll let me know, like if they're doing just a training for their team and, it's not really pertains to me or anything like that, they'll let me know, and they'll just say, we're just doing team stuff tonight. So I know not to jump on. But I have found some really good mentors within Singular just doing it that way. And, they're just always willing to help. But one thing that I have learned personally is I want to be a leader and a trainer for my team, because I feel like I have to go elsewhere to get that. So I really do try to spend time helping develop the leaders on my team. And, I try to take their input. What kind of things do you want to learn? What are you struggling with? That kind of thing. And we do trainings, and we try to do them every Tuesday. Doesn't always happen that way, but at least 2 or 3 Tuesdays of the month. And, I try to bring in other leaders. Sometimes I ask them to help train. And just, it's just a way for them to learn and grow. But in the beginning, I think, let me slide my thing and see who's on. I can't see everybody. Okay. I see Don and Kelly. In the beginning, Donna can tell you, sometimes it was just she and I, and it was one-on-one. And I remember jumping off calls, and Kurt would be like, well, how many do you have tonight? And I'd be like, 1 or 0. And he would be like, why do you keep doing it? And I'm like, because eventually people are going to show up. And if I want my team to learn and grow, I've got to be a leader for them. And so, 1 turned into 2, turned into 3. And now we probably have about 4 or 5 that jump on. And a lot of them jump on Melissa's training because she's been gracious enough to let us do that on Monday nights. So I just, if you feel like you need some extra help in Singular, don't be afraid to reach out to other people that are not on the X team. Just reach out to them and ask them when they're doing their next training. If somebody on my team could drop Melissa's link in our group, they're asking for it. I forgot to put it in there tonight. But so reaching out, looking for people to learn from, grow from. And then another thing, Vicki had asked me to share, and I told him, I said, Vicki and I are accountability partners. Bambi's on here tonight. She and I are accountability partners. We talk every day. Sometimes Vicki and I talk to him 3 times a day. And we're a good balance for each other because Kurt tells me I'm wide ass open. And Vicki has to rein me back in. She's like, no, let's think about this. How are we going to do this? And I'm just, I just go, 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 go. So it's a good balance. And then I love talking with Bambi each day and just talking about what we're doing in our business, challenging each other. So if you don't have an accountability partner, you need one. And I would encourage you to get an accountability partner that is not on the X team because it's good to just, Bambi can tell me what, and I know a lot of what you guys have going on just because I get to jump on your trainings on Monday nights, but, she can tell me what promos you have. Melissa's good about sharing her boards with me, but you can look at other people's boards, get an idea of how you want to promote for your team. And, back to training your team, it doesn't matter if you just have one person, one distributor, one customer. You've got to be there for them. You can't just sign them up, let them go. It's your responsibility. That's one of the things that we promote is, the culture, the company, the accountability. And we want to try to connect them as many people as possible because if it's just you and you're the only one that's talking to them, sharing with them, coaching with them, then that's not really what we advertise as far as, community. Yes, it is one-on-one coaching, but, to get them to stick around and stay, you want to connect them to as many people as possible. So I encourage you to, to at least talk to your people, your distributors, offer trainings. Does everybody take me up on my team? No. Just sometimes I feel like I'm offering things and I don't get anybody wanting any help a lot of the times, but at least I can say I offered it and I'm there, to do mentor calls, to help them plan, to go over goals, to help them evaluate their goals. Because I think another thing that's important is not just setting a goal and then looking at it at the end of the month. You got to set that goal and break it down. And, I try to show our team that if you set a goal as manager, then that means you need to average about 500 points a week. And let's evaluate it, every 7 days, every 14 days, every 21 days. Where are you? If you're going for silver, 5,000. If you're going for gold, 10,000. But you can't just say, oh, I'm going to be a gold manager. You got to have a plan. And you've got to have, you got to look at what you're doing that's working. And if your points aren't where they are, like today, we're halfway through the month. If you're not halfway to your goal, then what are you going to do the rest of the month to get there if what you're doing right now is not working? You got to try new things. You got to be open to new ideas and suggestions. We have tons of training in our company. From Room at the Top, Jamie Cole did an amazing job today. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back and listen to her. We have 9 at 9s. Melissa's on 9 at 9s. We have, old recordings you can go listen to. So there's just so much out there. But if you're not working on yourself, to me, and it's just my opinion, that's the first thing that you got to do. Because if you don't, it's like anything else. You're just it'll be the last thing you do. And I know when I get up and I work on myself, whether it's, Bible study, whether it's listen to a podcast. Bob Healy is somebody that I have just been absorbing. He was on a Founders Club. Stephanie Wood, I think, was the one that brought him on a while back. And he's called the Virtual Upline. And I just love his values and how he shares his faith. And it's just, just really interesting. And it doesn't matter that I'm listening to like episode 196, I think I listened to today, and it's like 2021. Still, what he was saying at that point, there are things there that I can use today. So I, encourage you to work on you, because Melissa says it a lot. We can't pour from an empty cup. And if we want to be there for our team, we've got to work on ourselves. And we only grow by helping others. And that's the only way we're going to get to the next rank. And I know early on, maybe a couple years in, I kept hearing people say, you're not going to get to the next rank with the people you have. I was like, well, that makes sense. But it truly does. You've gotten to a point, and, you may stay there, you may grow, you may fall back, but you got to constantly be growing and working on new enrollments and frontline sponsoring. And that would be, I didn't even talk about that today, but that is something that you've got to always be doing, because if you get unbalanced, it's real hard to pull yourself out of that. So if you keep frontline sponsoring and bringing people in as ex-brand partners, even if they just want to get their products paid for, that's going to help keep you balanced as a team, or as as your own business, your own line. So Melissa, are you back, or do you need me to keep rambling?
No. I'm not back yet, but what you're saying is so spot on. And here's the thing, like 75% of the people that you bring on are going to be gone in a year. So if you're not continually frontline sponsoring and continually bringing in brand partners, what are you going to do when the people drop off, when it starts getting too hard, when something happens, when something unexpected happens? What are you going to do? Because that is pure facts. I mean, I can tell you in 8 years, it is spot on, if not higher, because during the pandemic, when things were good, and I know you can't see me, so sorry, but we grew over 400%. Those people are gone because it got hard. It was so easy then. And the ones that stuck it out are the ones that are going to stay. And you've got to replace all those people that were gone. So that's, you have got to continually frontline sponsor. That's why I do it every single month. I cannot remember the last month that I did not have at least 7 enrollments with at least one distributor. I mean, partner, but I have to do it. I mean, I don't have a choice. If I want my business to grow, I have to do that. If I want my business to fail, I don't worry about sponsoring. So that's the steel-toed boots, the thing that you just have to know, that if you are not sponsoring, if you are not bringing in new partners, your business is not going to grow. It's not. So if that's something that you're not good at, you need to find a way to get good at it really fast. You need to do what she's talking about. And the ones that are on that leaderboard, reach out to them, find out what they're doing different than you. The ones that are on room at the top that are growing, reach out to them, find out what they're doing different than you. I look at that leaderboard every single week. The people that I know on that leaderboard, you better believe I'm calling them. I'm calling them to find out what they're doing. I'm calling them to find out how they got new partners. I'm calling them to find out, how they're growing so much. And I just saw today, the Stolers are on there 2 weeks in a row. Guess who I'm going to be calling tomorrow morning? I'm going to be calling Mr. Michael Stoller to find out how he got on that board 2 weeks in a row, because that's a lot of sponsoring. So, I mean, people will talk to you. you're on my team, yes, and you've got the best team in the whole company, yes. I mean, we all know that. There's no arguing that fact. But the thing is I want to tell you an example. So we were, I don't know, Vicky can probably tell you, we were somewhere at some kind of event, and one of the girls on our team, she saw somebody from the X-Twins team that she had been following and watching, and she's like, oh my gosh, can you introduce me? And I said, of course. So I introduced her. Y'all, that girl told her verbatim something that I had just trained on a week before. And she came back and had this revelation like, oh my gosh, did you know what she told me to do to grow my business? And she tells this whole thing. And I'm sitting there thinking, I just said that. I just had an hour-long training on that, but she heard it from somebody else and it clicked. So somebody else may say something that you have heard a million times, but it finally clicked. That's why talking to other people is so important. You don't have to just listen to me. You don't have to just listen to people on this team, because somebody else may say something that it's a different way, or something that just finally clicks with you or makes sense to you, and it changes everything for you. But you've got to do the things. You can't just say you're going to do it. You can't just write down your goals. You can't just break down your goals. You have to actually do the work and do the things if you want to grow. And you've got to actually bring in the partners and help them grow if you want to grow. So you can all do it. You all know the steps, but we are doing an IPA challenge. I put it on the leaders board for the next 16 days. I want you to bust your tail. I want you to bust your tail, and I want you to see what you can do. But you got to do the things. You can't just check the boxes. You can't just check the boxes that you sent 10 messages. I mean, it says, reach out, be intentional with the people that you're talking to. So I want you to get on the phone, and I want you to be intentional, and I want you to join me in that challenge, and I want you to do the things and see if it changes your business. And then Saturday is about rebuilding. It is time for all of us to rebuild. And it's time for all of us to grow. And she is exactly right. You are not going to get to the next rank with the people that you have now, with the team that you have now, doing the same things that you're doing now. You've got to do something more, something different with different people if you want to get to the next level. You got to do it. It's like that every single time. Thank you, Tammy, for coming on and training. Has anybody got anything?
Where did you say that we would find that challenge?
It's on the leaders page. I just posted it today.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome. And it's broken down. It's exactly what I want you to do every single day. Anybody else got anything? Saturday, is everybody excited? My house is open for anybody who wants to come to it. My very first event in the house. So excited. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and end it. I'm going to declare Ephesians 3:20 over all of you. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask. Because we honor him, his blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. We are in the right place at the right time, and I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you. God is going to open supernatural doors. People are going to seek us out, and we're going to rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and glory. Love y'all. Mwah. Have a great night.